Welcome to the Truer Podcast. I am your host, Katrina Slade. I am your kindred soul sister here in my cozy space. If you can see the video, you can see I have my cozy setup. I've got my blanket, my candles, my pillows, and I invite you into my cozy circle here. My intention with this podcast is to create an experience that allows you to feel expansive and open and allows your true self to come forward and to rise up. Before we get into this episode, I invite you just to take a moment to check in with yourself. Let's just breathe into our heart for 10 seconds. I invite you to put your hands on your heart if you are able to at this time, dropping out of your mental energy into your heart and breathing in and out. In and out. Let's do one more deep breath in, breathing in calm and peace. And breathing out whatever needs to go. You could even shake it out. Shake out whatever needs to go. Whatever you have carried into this episode or into my circle here, I invite you to just set it aside for now and to receive. Be in the mode of receiving. Today's episode, I felt really drawn to the topic of fear. And I've been working with that with a lot of my clients recently. A lot of us, I feel, are being called upon by our highest selves, by our guides, by whatever, the universe, to start facing our fears, which is really like the cages that have been created around us that are keeping us small. So we're going to talk about that. In today's episode, I did a meditation before I came here to record, and I did receive some intuitive messages about fear. After the messages, I'm going to guide you into an inner wisdom practice. And that's something you can just do while you're listening, while you're like doing other things. But I also invite you to come back to this episode and go deeper with that whenever it feels right for you. And at the end, I'm going to share a little bit about integrating this experience into your life moving forward. And I'd also like to invite you, if you're interested in working with this stuff, this is classic shadow work. This is what we do at Becoming True. Becoming True is my new hub, my new online hub for spiritually curious people who want to live in more alignment with their true self and be more in alignment with their purpose. And there's lots of resources there for you. There's meditations, there's workshops, there's group calls every month, energy healings. There's so many things to help you in this area. So if that calls to you, I'm putting the link below and I invite you to join me there. Along with this podcast, I also have a Substack. It's where I share letters I write. And I call it the Truer Letters. And in this companion piece to the podcast, I wrote a letter to fear. And I think I titled it "To the Fear That's Keeping Me Small." And I just felt so inspired to get into this topic with you because I think so many of us are really being called to face our fears right now. And I don't just mean like a fear of heights. I mean like our deep soul callings that is out of the comfort zone that makes us feel really triggered to go there. And I have talked about this recently in the previous episodes I've recorded. This is all interconnected, right? So let me get into the messages. Okay, before I came here to record, I meditated. I received intuitive messages from the energy of fear. This is what it wants us to know. So I'm going to share that with you. And in case you're not aware, my intuitive messages come very symbolically. So we have to look at the visual and then translate that into what it means. Similar to the previous episode, this one I was shown the energy of fear appeared to me like a vision of black smoke, like swirling around. And I actually saw you diving in with a torch. Let's say you're those torches people have on like Survivor, or like a torch with a stick with a torch on it. I saw you diving into this black smoke swirling all around you, but you're like choosing to do that. You have your torch of fire that is lighting the way, and you're willing to face the smoke. I'm realizing how similar that is to the previous one. Interesting. The previous episode was about listening to your soul and stillness. I think these are very connected, actually. So, in this vision, I was shown about fear. And keep in mind, this is a group message. This is for anybody who is drawn to this podcast, to this content. This is for you, okay? This isn't just about me or anything like that. This is for you. So, if you're willing to face the smoke, it's going to show you important messages. And I actually saw this smoke that is symbolizing the fear. It was like swirling all around you, almost not like a tornado, like a tunnel, like you were in the middle of a tunnel and it was like all around you. And it was showing you important messages, and it made me feel such shaman energy, like you were a shaman looking into the shadows and they were showing you messages, almost as if there's different ways of receiving messages, like tea leaf readings or lots of different types of seeing visuals in, oh, isn't there one called scrying, where you like look into a mirror in the dark and it shows you messages? Anyway, in this case, looking into the fear, diving into it and facing it is showing you what you need to know. And this is very important messages. And I was shown that it's like you can be the shaman of your shadows. Woo! I love that idea, being the shaman of your shadows. Of course, this black smoke, which is fear, has a lot of underworld energy, which, if you're not familiar with the underworld, it's just another word for like lower. It's not an evil place. It's not a bad place. The underworld is a beautiful place. It's like the realm of the shamans, like where shamans travel to. It's a different plane of existence that, just like where I go when I'm reading the Akashic records, it's a different plane of existence. It's very connected to earth consciousness. It's very connected to ancestors and like harmony with all living things. And the underworld is also our subconscious. So it's like what's beneath our conscious awareness. In doing this action of diving into the swirling black smoke, which is another way of saying diving into your shadow work, looking at your shadows, these are the things that scare you, things that you don't have an awareness of yet or a clear understanding of yet about yourself. These are parts of you that want to come forward now. At this point, when I was reading the energy of fear, it showed me the metaphor of an iceberg. We all have seen that diagram of there's the tip of the iceberg, which is what we see. That's our conscious awareness. And everything at the bottom of underneath the surface of the water that is hidden from our view, our conscious awareness view, that is in our subconscious. And there's so much there that needs to be uncovered right now. There's a reason why I'm being called to this topic right now. I feel this in my personal life, and I'm seeing this in my clients' lives too. I think a lot of people who are trying to live more intentionally from their soul, like their soul's purpose, a lot of us are feeling that right now. Okay, and along with this iceberg metaphor, I was shown the idea of we fear what we don't know. So I was also shown, like, in our world right now, it's really popular in a disgusting way to fear the other, like fear somebody who is different from yourself and then hate them because you're afraid of how different you are from them, or I don't know. People fear what they don't know in people, in cultural aspects, in even foods. There's certain foods that we won't eat because we're like, oh, I don't know about that. That actually reminds me, yesterday I was with a friend and she told me this story of how she met a translator from North Korea who, it's a long story, but he was North Korean and he met her and she's American, and he asked her, why do Americans love apple pie so much? And we were laughing because we were like, I don't know, do people still love apple pie that much anyway? I like it, but it's not like maybe it was more of a 1950s TV and movies or something. I don't know. Like he thought Americans love apple pie and they eat it all the time. And he was like, why? Because he didn't get it. He probably thought it was weird or something. Like, why would you put an apple in that? It's what you don't know. It can be a fear. I feel like that was not a very good example, but I've already talked about the other and the iceberg. So I think this is just like adding on more and more understanding. And the fear that shows up for you, it's from that aspect of you that's under the surface of that iceberg. It's from that part of you that you haven't seen yet, that wants to be seen. And it's actually a mirror. So like when I saw the black smoke swirling around you and it was showing you images that were like giving you more awareness and more understanding of yourself, more wholeness, we can say, that was a mirror for you to contemplate your own self. So when you face your fears and when you do shadow work and look at the aspects of you that have been hidden away or not yet discovered through no fault of your own, this is just how it is being human, it brings you, this is what I talk about all the time, like it brings you more of your true self. It's like a gift that uncovers more of your true self, and it's like slowly taking away that cage that has been placed upon you or that you have placed upon yourself of this is who you're supposed to be, this is how you should be. And we all have that to some degree. Some of us have it more than others. I even have some clients who on the outside, they look like they're so free, right? They travel, they have financial freedom, they have education and like a good job, quote unquote, good job, but they still feel like I don't even know who I am, who am I meant to be? And I'm guessing some of you listening will resonate with this. So by facing the fear, even though it's out of the comfort zone, like I mentioned in previous episodes, it feels edgy to get to the edge of our comfort zone and to move out of that and face that. But I have some tips for you around this. I will be getting to that. Oh yeah, before I get there, I wanted to mention this was also shown to me. If you know about astrology, there's the idea of our north node and south node. And these are just points in our chart. I'm not going to get into all of the astrological stuff because I'm not an astrologer. I just am interested in astrology. But I was reminded of this related to this topic of fear. And the thing about the south node is they say it indicates wherever it is on your chart, which might be fun to look up right now, actually. The south node is representing your karmic lessons, which means like your past lives, like what you've already been through, what you've already learned. And that, in a sense, gives you a level of comfort. Let's say in a past life, you were tending the horses in a fancy estate and you were the horse groom. And in this lifetime, you love horses like that. It's like your comfort zone. It's your wheelhouse. It's what is already known to you, even if you're not aware that it's from past lives or from those karmic knowings, karmic lessons. So that's where we start our life at. But our north node is where our soul's destiny is aimed at in this lifetime. It's almost like that's what your soul curriculum is guiding you towards. So I think it's fascinating to look up in my chart, like where my north node is, because it's showing me where I'm going or where my soul wants to be going. And the south node is like where I'm moving away from. And this is part of the growth journey, right? In the past episode, we've talked about the hero's journey. If you didn't listen to that one, I really recommend it. That was the episode about soul curriculum and the hero's journey, and it's happening for you, not to you. So all these episodes are interconnected, right? But if you see the journey between the south node and the north node, And that is going to literally force you to go out of your comfort zone, because otherwise it's a wasted life in terms of your soul didn't learn the lessons it was here to learn. It didn't grow in the ways it was meant to grow. You didn't, it's like you go through a year of school, but you didn't pass any of the classes. And then they say, oh, you have to do that all over again. This is usually how it works with, from what I've seen working with people's like soul contracts and soul plans and all of that stuff in their Akashic records, which I've done many readings. A lot of times the lessons from the past will repeat, and it might even feel that way for you. Maybe you have this issue in your life right now that's causing you to be triggered with fear, and it's maybe even old, like it's from a past life, and in that lifetime you were not able to, I'm putting this in quotes, like pass that soul lesson, pass that class, and you have to do it again in this lifetime in a different context. I think it really helps to have that wider perspective, and also looking up your north node point in your chart and understanding, okay, this is my soul's destiny. And how is this related to what I'm feeling right now with my fear? What is the fear I have right now? What is the edginess I'm feeling with my comfort zone, going out of my comfort zone? So the last part of this message is I was shown something really interesting when I was doing this meditation. I was shown that we can damper or decrease the fear or like feeling triggered if we can see it as if it's like behind the glass, like at a zoo. If you were out in the wild and there was a lion right there, you would be afraid. But if you're at the zoo and there's a lion in its enclosure and you're on the safe side of the glass and the lion is on the other side of the glass, you don't have any fear. You just are fascinated by it. So almost, I'm laughing because I'm thinking, okay, there could be a zoo of your fears. We can just look at them calmly and safely behind the glass. And I'm going to actually guide you through this in the practice that I'm about to do. But just know that the process of doing this, it's not a walk in the park. It's not easy, but it brings you so much self-mastery. And that self-mastery is necessary for your highest growth and evolution. If you're interested in living a lifetime where your soul does go through its highest growth and evolution, where you do reach the highest outcomes for this lifetime, reach your potential that your soul wants you to reach, it's going to require shadow work, facing the fears, what is underneath the fears, and looking at that. And I know when I talk about shadow work, it could be confusing because you're like, how do I do that? What is that? Don't worry, I have lots of resources for this type of work in my Becoming True platform. I put a link below. You're welcome to check it out. There's going to be workshops, meditations, all sorts of things to help you uncover who your true self wants to be in this lifetime. I invite you now to come join me in practice. This is an inner wisdom guided practice, and I'm going to guide you through this. It shouldn't be maybe 5 minutes or so. And if you're listening to this and you're doing something, that's fine. Keep doing that. If you can pause and just check in with yourself, I really recommend that. Or you can listen to this once through so you know what to expect, and then come back to this later when you can pause and go a little deeper with your focus. So I invite you to sit in a comfortable position, maybe laying down or sitting, and putting your hands on your heart. And connecting to your heart is so powerful because we live our lives up in our mental energy like a huge majority of the time. And that's more of our conditioned understanding, more of our conditioned mind. It's not necessarily our deep inner wisdom. So if we can connect to this wisdom center, which is the seat of the soul, which is where we can connect. I like to think of the heart as a portal. You can connect to a lot of incredible things through the heart. Sorry, I'm gushing about the heart right now. That's so funny. Anyway, let's get into this guided practice. I'm going to slow down. And I invite you to slow down as well. putting your hands on your heart, and if it feels right, closing your eyes. Taking a deep breath in through the heart space. Imagine you're filling the heart and the chest with light. And exhaling. Deep inhale, filling the chest with light. Slow exhale. One more deep breath in, filling your heart with light. And in your mind's eye, see yourself in a safe space, allowing whatever comes up for you. It might be a place from your childhood when you felt very safe and protected and peaceful. It might be a place you've been to more recently as an adult. Whatever this safe place is, allow it to form in your mind's eye. For me, it's my childhood bedroom, and my mom is sitting there, and she's stroking my hair and my back and making me feel so calm. For you, it could be anything, and just allowing this vision, this scene to form. No questioning, just allowing it to come. Noticing what is in this space with you. Is it inside? Is it outside? How do you feel here? Noticing how it feels to be here. Noticing if anybody is there with you. And now you're going to see a big window or maybe a big panel of glass coming down in front of you. Or you might just, if you are inside of a room, you might look out the window now. And knowing that nothing can hurt you here, nothing can get you here. You are safe. And you are safe to do an inner exploration now. We're going to call forward the energy of your fear, something you've been fearing, maybe something specific in your life. If you have been feeling this fear present in your life, whatever aspect of your life that is, calling forward the fear and seeing it through the glass on the other side. Allowing it to come to you and noticing, what does it look like? Or how does it feel in your body? Some of us are more visual, some of us are more sensory. Allowing this energy of fear to arrive however it needs to. You might sense an image or a symbol or maybe even a memory. Allowing this fear to fully arrive. And if this fear could speak, if it had a voice, what would it say to you now? Really allowing that to come forward. And what do you want to say to the fear? You might have something to say or a question. You can ask, why are you here? What are you here to teach me? And now we can ask the fear, what do you need? What do you need? Maybe the fear needs to be seen. Maybe the fear is showing you a scared little child that just needs comforting. And if you can, give the fear what it needs to be soothed, to be calmed. And if anything, you can just give it love. And if it feels right, you can even say thank you. Thank you for teaching me what I need to know. Thank you for the soul lessons. And what wants to happen now? Is there any interaction between you and the fear? Or you and the image that has shown itself? Allowing whatever needs to happen. And saying thank you, and the fear can go now. The glass can go now. Let it dissolve, disappear, and just take a moment to feel the peace of your safe space. Feel how comfortable it is here. All right, when you're ready, you can come back to the here and now. I always get teared up when I do these things. I don't think it's from emotion. I think it's just a bodily response. Very interesting. Okay, so let's talk about what came up for you from that practice and how can you integrate it. I have found it very beneficial to do this type of practice regularly where I face a certain thing. Like I go to my safe space and then I face the consciousness of my health problem. like endometriosis. And then I say, let me speak to the consciousness of my endometriosis. It comes forward. It looks like a certain thing. And then I can speak to it and then I receive information. Or I've spoken to the soul of my business and it talks to me in this type of practice. This is just an inner wisdom guided practice. It can be in any area of your life, right? In this case, it was about fear. So to integrate this, I really recommend whenever you are finding yourself feeling a little overwhelmed with life or triggered, to go to your safe space, wherever that was for you. Like I said, mine, I can see my childhood bedroom. There's like hand-painted murals on the wall because my mom is an artist and she painted them. I can see the bed is in the corner. I can even see the window with the blinds. And I can see my mom sitting there and she's stroking my hair in a certain way and my back in a certain way that always made me really peaceful. It made me feel so soothed and so calm. So that's my safe space. I just see myself there. And I just wanted to share a little personal story. I talked recently in my episodes about how I went on a nature retreat. Like it was solo nature retreat. It was by myself in the woods with bears. There were bears around. I could see their poo all over the trail. I was so afraid, and I was really afraid I was perfectly fine, but I was afraid of a bear attacking me at night in my tent, or like a strange man coming and attacking me. I was just really afraid of that because I had never been in a vulnerable position like that before in my life, where I was alone and vulnerable to attack. Anyway, I'm laughing because at night there were apples that would fall from the tree and it would make a big crashing noise. And I was so scared whenever you're trying to go to sleep and you hear like nighttime noises and all of a sudden a big crash in the trees and you think, oh my God, it's a bear. And I couldn't sleep. So what I did was I soothed myself. I was so afraid. I soothed myself. I actually had to listen to headphones, listen to sleep music, but also I imagined myself in my safe space. And I imagined almost, instead of my mom being there, I imagined my adult self being there with my child self and like soothing her and being like, you're okay. I'm here for you. You're safe. And that was so beneficial for me in that place when I was on my nature retreat. So whenever you are feeling that heightened sense of fear or like you're out of your comfort zone and it's triggering, I really recommend you just pause and go to that sacred, your safe space, and tend to yourself. This is a way of reparenting yourself. You can offer yourself that sense of safety and security and peace and calm. Okay, is there anything else that wants to come through right now? I'm looking at my other notes from a previous episodes about the hero's journey. I'm being reminded about the hero's journey that you are on, that we are all on, that you are the hero of your journey. And the hero has to face their fear in order to become their highest potential. If you see yourself as the hero of your journey, it's going to give you more empowerment somehow. It's like how you frame it. It's almost like seeing yourself as the hero versus seeing yourself as a victim to circumstances. I think in that other episode I talked about self-pity and things like that. Like it's better to see yourself as the empowered hero version, and it's just really helpful. So if you haven't listened to that episode, I've mentioned it multiple times now, please go back and listen to that. I invite you to. And I also invite you to check out my new platform, Becoming True. It's my spiritual hub for all things that you need to become your true self.
If you're ready to say yes to a truer life, then I invite you to join my free event, Truer. It's a soul-deep immersion where you get to hone your intuition, allow your truth to rise, and reconnect with the clarity, purpose, and satisfaction that comes with aligning to your truer self. Link in the show notes. If this episode resonated with you, if it helped you access a deeper truth within yourself, then please share it with someone you love, because the world needs more of us living our truer lives. This has been a Truer Media production. The Truer podcast is created and produced by me, Katrina Slade. Music by Frequently Asked Music. Wordmark by Annika Samples of Incandescent Creative. Cover photography by Lucinda Richard. Time for the really short legal talk. This podcast is presented solely for educational purposes. I am your soul sister. I am a spiritual guide, but I am not a licensed physician, psychologist, or other qualified medical professional. I hope to see you again.